Welcome to my home.
Hi, I'm Cindy Merritt, your local real estate partner, and just like you, I live, work, and play in the Richmond metropolitan area and all around the wonderful surrounding counties.
Today we are at the new Kent Winery, and it never ceases to amaze me that people don't know where New Kent County is. We are just 20 minutes east of Richmond and 10 minutes east of the airport. It's the next county over from Henrico, so it really isn't that far from us. This is our owner for the New Kent Winery, Joe Dombrowski, and it's a family-owned winery, and it's you and your wife and your family, correct?
Yes, it is.
Well, tell us all about the winery.
Well, great. Thank you for coming out again to visit New Kent Winery. We bought the winery about 4.5 years ago, and it's the building is awesome, but we also have a very large farm winery operation out here for Virginia. We have 38.5 acres of vineyards. That's my son Jacob, who's a viticulturist trained by Virginia Tech, grows and runs our farming operations. And then we have this lovely building where we do a lot of events and do all of our tastings and have food. And the building was built back in 2008. And when it was built from all restored and reclaimed lumber, bricks, and building materials. So a lot of the building is over 200 years old. It's also built with no concrete or rebar. So it's all built in 18th and 19th century post and beam construction. So post and beams, as we go through the winery, will get bigger and bigger and bigger to hold up the loads to keep the winery on its foundation.
Wow,
so we'll see that. The interestingly enough, the ceiling on this porch happens to be the floor from a warehouse in upstate New York in the 1840s. It was reclaimed and brought here to be the ceiling. When they planed the boards, they didn't want to get rid of anything. So when we go into our tasting room and you look up, the clean side of these boards would be our tasting room ceiling. So I think that's very interesting how they didn't waste anything.
That is interesting.
The bricks of the winery are over 200 years old. They started out in 4 warehouses along the James River in the 1820s. In the 1860s, there was a war here, and the Union Army burned down the warehouses. In the 1930s, those warehouses and their bricks were reclaimed, brought downtown Richmond, and built into the headquarters and a tobacco drying barn at Lombardi and Lee for American Tobacco. The reason there's red, green, and white paint on them, Lucky Strikes was American Tobacco's signature cigarette. Red and white pack, green and white pack. My father smoked Lucky Strike. And then our siding is very interesting. It's 150-year-old cypress from the sinker logs around Florida sawmills out of the swamps. It was pulled out and planed into siding. And then they went through the trouble of hiring a young man who owns a place called Phoenix Studios here in New Kent County. He's an artist, but he's also a blacksmith. And every nail you'll see is handmade. There are tens of thousands of handmade nails in the building.
Wow, that's
amazing.
amazing.
It is a very unique building.
It is.
My wife and I, my youngest son, and the rest of our family, my daughter-in-law, my son-in-law are all involved in the operations of the winery. We're open every day of the week, 10 to 6, and we do all of our own farming. And as we go through this, you'll see how we produce all of our own wine.
Wonderful.
So we're going to walk inside now and take a look at the inside of the building.
That's great. Thank you.
These are 2,800-gallon stainless steel tanks. They are cooled and heated so we can control fermentation during harvest. The room you're in is our production hall. Is 55 degrees year-round. Why? Wine loves to live at 55. They like to be drank at 55. White wine's at 38, flush wine's in the 40s, and then red wine at room temperature. But all wine likes to be back here, a little bit dark and a little bit cold, so it lasts for a long time. Think about popping a bottle in a French wine cave or an English castle after 100 years, it's still good wine. So because it's been kept properly with moisture on the cork. All of our bottle storage is upside down so that there's liquid always on the cork. We use natural cork, where my wife is a purist when it comes to that, and it just helps hold your wine better, actually. So These are our 2,800 gallon tanks. We have two 1,000 gallon tanks. And we have about 325 American oak barrels.
Wow.
We make all of our red wine in American oak, and none of our wine comes out of the back of the cellar. Again, one of my wife's rules, 2 years or more it has to be in oak. So most of our wines are 2, 3, 4, and we have 1 6-year you're going to taste.
Okay.
Wine in oak for reds, and then our reserve Chardonnay, which is won Virginia's Governor's Cup, is where you see the barrels with the gas locks on them. That's only 2 years, and a Chardonnay goes into those barrels and is made into our reserve Chardonnay, which you'll taste really buttery, oaky, creamy. Now that we've finished our tour
Yes.
of the winery facility, we're going to get a really good part. You're going to get to taste wine.
Wonderful.
And I'm turning you over to Sue, who is our senior wine steward. She's been here since we've owned the winery, 4.5 years. And Sue was here before that with previous owners, so she can give you a really good feel for our wines and a lot of history too. And then I'll be back with you. Sue, take it away.
Thank you so much, Joe.
We're going to start at the Chardonnay and go down from there.
Okay. Well, that's really good. They just keep getting better as we go along. They do. Sue, thank you so much for letting us taste the wine. We really appreciate it, and I think we would like a couple of glasses to take outside.
Okay, you're welcome.
So when you come out to the New Kent Winery, make sure you ask about their wine club and their barrel club. You'll really be glad you did. And you can have all kinds of wonderful events out here. They have weddings, they have corporate events, wine tastings, or just come out and sit on the patio and enjoy the evening. So come on out to New Kent Winery and make yourself at home. We sure did.
Cindy Merritt is nationally recognized as a leader in the U.S. real estate market. Of the more than 35,000 realtors in Virginia, the American Institute of Real Estate Professionals consistently ranks Cindy in the top 10 best realtors in the state.